Leo hearts, you are standing at the edge of a golden window. Between August 20th and 25th, 3 shocking pieces of good news are heading directly toward you, each one designed to unlock a hidden doorway in your life, including a financial opportunity that could shift your entire future. This isn't metaphor. This is alignment. The stars have choreographed something extraordinary, and if you lean in, listen closely, and prepare your spirit, you will not miss what is meant for you. Now take a moment. Breathe. You didn't stumble upon this message by accident. You were drawn here, pulled by a greater current that knows you're ready for more. Ready to step into a version of yourself that's not only empowered, but abundant. You see, Leo, this season hasn't just been about celebration or survival. It's been about becoming. Right now, the sun still burns in your sign, casting one last spotlight before it transitions into Virgo. And while that transition often stirs mixed emotions, nostalgia, reflection, uncertainty, it also leaves behind a gift. A rare opening. One where your voice, your calling, and your capacity to receive are all being amplified at once. With Mercury moving retrograde during this period and the full moon building in Pisces, your inner world is being recalibrated. The universe is whispering truths through old conversations, past decisions, and unexpected signs. Something you thought was over is coming back, but this time, it's wrapped in clarity, not confusion. And if you're still watching right now, it means one thing: your soul is ready to hear what comes next. Over the next few minutes, I will guide you through these 3 surprising blessings, not vague promises, but deeply rooted shifts that have already begun manifesting in your energy field. One will be financial. One will be relational. One will be deeply spiritual. Each carries the potential to unlock parts of your destiny you may have forgotten you even desired. But this is not passive prophecy. This is co-creation. These miracles will not land in your lap if you're not present, awake, and aligned with their frequency. That's why you're here. Because some part of you deep down already knows that abundance isn't earned. It's received. It's welcomed. It's remembered. Let me take a moment to say thank you. Your presence here is sacred. Every time you comment, every time you share a like or subscribe, you're not just helping this message reach more people, you're expanding the field for your own transformation. You're saying to the universe, I'm open. I'm listening. I'm ready. So stay with me, because what's coming next is not just information. It's confirmation. Now, Leo, answer me this. What led you here today? A subtle pull? A restless thought? A hunger for something more? Go ahead and comment below to affirm your arrival. Say it in your words. Let the universe hear you. Let your tribe see you. This space was made for that. And trust me, you're going to want to stay until the very end of this message. Because the final gift, the 3rd blessing, that one holds the key to something you've been praying for in silence. And it's closer than you think. Leo, when the sun is in your sign, everything about you is magnified. Your voice becomes clearer, your presence stronger, and your inner fire burns more boldly. But what makes August 20th to 25th so rare isn't just that the sun is still lighting up your chart, it's that this final stretch of Leo season is infused with layered energies meant to activate not only your brilliance, but your readiness to receive. You are not only being seen. You are being invited into alignment with something greater. As Mercury turns retrograde in this period, it's not just communication that is being rewired, it's your relationship with clarity. Retrograde motion isn't here to disrupt you. It's here to slow you down just enough for you to hear the whispers you've been ignoring, the financial red flags you've overlooked, the dreams you've shelved, the vision boards you stopped believing in. Mercury retracing its steps in your sky is the universe saying, look again, this time with wisdom. That business decision you've postponed, that partnership you've questioned, that offer you brushed aside? Don't assume it was a no. Retrogrades invite you to revisit, not regret. But even deeper than Mercury's influence is the growing pull of the full moon in Pisces. And this is where things become more than strategic, they become sacred. Pisces awakens the emotional and energetic realms within us. Its light doesn't shine like Leo's spotlight, drips gently into the corners of your spirit, softening the parts that have grown rigid, opening the doors you bolted shut during times of disappointment. And when the full moon and the sun work together like this, in opposition but in harmony, what's created is a bridge between purpose and surrender, confidence and compassion, action and intuition. This is what I want you to see, Leo. The energies between August 20th and 25th are not asking you to do more theory, asking you to become more aligned. To look at how you've been chasing abundance and ask, have I been pushing it away with self-doubt? Have I been ignoring my instincts for the sake of logic? Or have I simply been too busy surviving to remember that I was meant to thrive? When we speak of attracting wealth not just in finances but in opportunity, connection, and healing, it always begins with frequency. The frequency of self-trust. The frequency of readiness. And the frequency of receptivity. Leo, you naturally radiate confidence, but confidence without reflection becomes pride. This week, the stars aren't just amplifying your power, they're re-asking you to refine it. To match your external radiance with inner awareness. Imagine this moment like standing at the edge of a golden field, sunlight warm on your skin, but behind you, a storm just passed. You have a choice. Will you keep glancing over your shoulder, second-guessing the clear skies ahead? Or will you trust that the path before you is now fertile, ready for harvest, because you endured what came before? You don't need to force anything this week. You only need to tune in. The cosmos are already aligning doors in your favor, but it's your decision whether you knock. Take time to journal. Ask your soul what it's still afraid of. Meditate on what true abundance means to you, not just in your wallet, but in your relationships, your creativity, your health. This kind of inner inquiry is the soil where divine timing takes root. Let this be the week where you stop chasing and start receiving. Where you say yes to the pull of your purpose, and yes to the gentle nudge of grace. Because something has been waiting to land in your life, not because you've earned it through suffering, but because you've grown enough to carry it with integrity. Stay open. Stay aware. Stay anchored in faith, even if you don't see the full picture yet. The light at the end of Leo's season is not fading. It's focusing. And it's pointing directly at you. Sometimes, the most profound shifts in our lives don't arrive with a grand announcement. They slip in quietly, tucked inside a moment we almost ignore, a text from someone we haven't spoken to in months, a sudden invitation to collaborate, a side project we forgot we loved. For you, Leo, this week carries exactly that kind of frequency. An unexpected financial opportunity is circling your energy field now, not as a reward for your effort alone, but as a result of your alignment. This is not about hustle. It's about readiness. The readiness to see what you didn't see before. The readiness to act when your heart says yes, even if your mind hesitates. The sun, still radiant in your sign, illuminates not just your external charisma, but your inner readiness to lead your relationship with value, confidence, and worth. When an opportunity comes out of the blue, we often call it luck. But in astrology, we know that luck is simply the visible result of invisible alignment. Uranus, the planet of sudden shifts, is subtly active now, shaking loose what has been stagnant in your material world. And while it might look like a coincidence, it's not. The universe doesn't deal in randomness. It responds to readiness. But the deeper work here, Leo, is not in predicting the form this blessing will take. It's in preparing yourself to recognize it when it arrives. That means becoming emotionally available to receive. That means no longer brushing off compliments, no longer saying, maybe later, to the desires that keep returning to you. That means looking at what you've been delaying not because it's not the right time, but because some part of you has doubted whether you're worthy of thriving on your own terms. The truth is, you are. And maybe what's coming won't arrive as a bag of money or a business deal with flashing lights. Maybe it will arrive as a second chance, a small yes, a door slightly ajar that asks you to walk through it without needing to know what's on the other side. This is how abundance works. It doesn't shout. It whispers. So take time today to write down 3 things you've been putting off, things that live in the back of your mind, unfinished, unloved, or simply feared. Then, choose one and take a single, powerful step toward it. Not tomorrow. Today. That one act becomes a signal, a message to the universe that you're not just thinking about change, you're creating space for it. And each morning, speak this aloud, not as a wish but as a declaration. I am willing to see the extraordinary in the ordinary. I am ready to recognize the $1 million door even if it looks like a regular hallway. Energy is not about logic. It's about rhythm. And right now, your rhythm is syncing up with something golden. But you must stay present. Stay grounded. Stay open. If your hands are too full holding on to fear, you won't have room to receive the blessing. Let this week be the moment you shift your attention from what's missing to what's possible. From someday to right now. From watching others thrive to realizing that your light, your bold, magnetic Leo fire was always meant to attract wealth, not chase it. You don't need to beg for what's yours. You only need to recognize it. And when it shows up wrapped in simplicity, disguised as something small, say yes. Say yes to what feels aligned, even if it doesn't make perfect sense. Because that little door you open now, it might just lead to everything you once thought was too far away to claim. Sometimes, life doesn't deliver answers, it delivers people. And this week, Leo, someone is arriving in your energetic orbit not to fix you, not to rescue you, but to mirror back the part of you that's finally ready to rise. This person may come in quietly, through an email, a message, a casual encounter, or a name you haven't thought about in years. They might not look like what you expected, and yet something about their presence will stir something ancient in your soul. Not a memory but a knowing. As if the version of you you've been becoming silently called out, and now the universe is responding with a human echo. With Mercury in retrograde during this transit, we are being asked to revisit, reconnect, and reimagine old narratives. That means the person entering or re-entering your life may be someone from your past. Perhaps a friend, mentor, colleague, or even someone who once caused you pain. But here's the gift: you are not who you were. And neither are they. And so the energy between you carries something different now, richer, more mature, and charged with the potential for co-elevation. When Mercury retraces its steps, it does not do so to punish, but to offer a second look. A second chance. This is not about reopening old wounds. It's about finally seeing what the wound taught you, and using that wisdom to connect from strength rather than need. The law of attraction reminds us that we attract not just what we desire, but who we are. So if someone powerful is entering your field right now, take it as proof that you have become powerful in your own right. You've done the work. You've cleared space. You've grown through doubt and self-questioning and emotional isolation. And now, your vibration is calling in someone who matches that growth, someone who doesn't drain your light, but reflects it back, sometimes even more brightly than you realized you were shining. What's important now is to be open. Not just with your mind, but with your energy. Not every divine appointment arrives with warning or explanation. Often, they begin with curiosity, with chemistry, with resonance. Sometimes, your soul recognizes a person long before your logic does. Trust that. Let it guide you. Imagine this connection before sleep, when your mind is soft and your heart is still listening. Picture what it would feel like to be seen, truly seen, not for who you were or who you've tried to be, but for the version of yourself you've fought to become. Hear their words affirming the mission you've carried. Feel the way their presence uplifts, rather than overwhelms. Let your subconscious grow familiar with the sensation of being supported, understood, and deeply valued. And when the real-life version of that vision shows up, maybe not exactly how you imagined, but close enough for your heart to skip a beat and dismiss it. Don't overthink it. Don't question whether you deserve it. You do. You always did. The difference now is that you finally believe it enough to receive it. Say yes. Say thank you. Say, I've been waiting for you. And mean it. Write it down tonight. I am ready to meet the person who will help unlock my next level. I am worthy of support, collaboration, and meaningful connection. Because you are. And the person coming into your life isn't here to complete your story. They're here to walk beside you as you write the next chapter. Together, not dependent. Aligned, not attached. Purposeful, not accidental. And when you meet them, Leo, when the conversation feels like remembering, not discovering, you'll know the universe kept its promise. Transformation doesn't always arrive with a loud thunder or dramatic sign. Sometimes, it begins with a quiet shift in the way you talk to yourself. This week, Leo, what's happening isn't simply a new event unfolding, it's a new perception being born within you. The third blessing that is unfolding in your energy field is perhaps the most powerful of them all, because it changes everything from the inside out. And once your mind changes, the world cannot help but reflect that back to you. Right now, under the glow of the upcoming full moon in Pisces, you're being invited to surrender old mental scripts about success, worth, and wealth. For many, the word rich brings up mixed feelings: guilt, fear, shame, or even disdain. Somewhere along the line, you might have been taught that abundance is selfish, or that money corrupts, or that wanting more means being less spiritual. But Pisces energy has a way of softening those rigid beliefs, not through force, but through feeling. through compassion, through allowing. This lunation is a sacred momentum mirror to your soul. It's not asking you to chase wealth with greed, but to receive it with grace. It's not demanding you to prove anything, but to remember that abundance is not a test, it's a natural state of alignment. If you've been carrying subconscious blocks, beliefs like, I'm not good with money, I don't deserve to be paid well, or I'll never be free, this is the time they begin to dissolve, not because you force them away, but because you start seeing them for what they are, inherited stories, not unchangeable truths. Your outer circumstances may not shift overnight. But when your inner frequency changes, when your nervous system learns to feel safe with wealth, with joy, with success, the entire fabric of your life starts to realign. That's what this mindset revolution truly is. It's not a motivational quote. It's a rewiring. A spiritual software update that helps you recognize yourself as someone who is not just surviving but worthy of thriving. Take a few minutes each morning this week to close your eyes and visualize your heart wrapped in golden light. Not because it's a ritual or a routine, but because your heart is the most powerful magnet you have. When it is soft, open, and believing, the universe has no choice but to respond. And as you hold that vision, speak gently to yourself. Say what perhaps no one else ever told you growing up: I am safe to have more. I am allowed to grow. I release the need to struggle. I welcome a life that flows. Forgiveness is a key part of this process. Not forgiveness for others, but for yourself, for the years you doubted your own brilliance, for the times you settled, for the moments you questioned whether you were enough. Write it down. I forgive myself for believing I had to earn love, money, or rest. That one sentence, repeated in stillness, becomes a powerful form of healing. You're not asking for permission to grow. You're claiming it. This shift isn't just for your bank account, it's for your spirit. When you stop fearing success and start honoring it as your birthright, you become magnetic to the very opportunities you once chased. And they no longer feel like chances, they feel like answers. Because they are. The world is always reflecting what we believe we deserve. And this week, you get to believe something new. Let it begin now, not with force, but with tenderness. Not by doing more, but by allowing more. You don't have to fix everything. You just have to shift the lens. That's when the universe stops whispering and starts delivering. Not because it finally chose you, but because you finally chose yourself. When it comes to aligning with your divine path, there are subtle tools the universe gives us: symbols, numbers, colors that speak a language older than words. These aren't superstitions or lucky charms. They are energetic anchors, frequencies in visual or tactile form that remind your soul what it already knows. When used intentionally, they don't force outcomes, they unlock receptivity. And this week, as your energy opens more fully to the 3 blessings coming your way, these metaphysical keys become bridges between who you've been and who you're becoming. Color, for example, isn't just aesthetic. It's vibration. Gold, or more specifically golden light, carries the frequency of abundance, leadership, and divine right to receive. Wearing gold, visualizing gold light around you, or meditating with gold tones activates your solar chakra, or energetic center for confidence, magnetism, and self-worth. And for Leo, ruled by the sun, gold is not just a lignite, it's ancestral. It's cellular. It reminds you of the radiance you're born with, not the version you've had to prove. This week, Gold becomes your mirror. It says, you are already enough. Green, particularly emerald or forest green, is the color of heart healing. Often, abundance is blocked not by circumstance but by emotional residue. Old heartbreaks, financial shame, rejections carry them in the chest like armor. But emerald tones soften that armor. They signal safety. They allow your heart to receive again. Whether you wear green, rest with it near your body, or imagine breathing green light into your chest, you're giving yourself permission to be both powerful and soft, abundant and emotionally whole. Then there's lavender, a quiet yet potent hue that awakens the intuitive body. Where gold empowers and green heals, lavender listens. It invites you into stillness, into surrender. It connects to the crown chakra, helping you receive downloads, insights, and sudden inner clarity without overthinking. In times of spiritual upgrade like this week, lavender helps your nervous system stay calm while your soul expands. Try incorporating lavender in your surroundings: a scarf, a candle, a small piece of amethyst. Let it speak to the part of you that's still learning to trust what it can't yet see. Numerology adds another layer of this energetic alignment. The number 8, sacred across traditions, reflects infinite flow, especially in the realm of wealth, achievement, and legacy. It's not about chasing money. It's about letting abundance move through you without blockages. Seeing 8, writing it down, meditating on its form, it's a way to affirm, I am available for sustainable success. The number 3 is the spark of creation, communication, expression, ideas made manifest. It supports everything from business conversations to artistic inspiration. It's the number of divine dialogue. If you've been wanting to pitch something, share your truth, or create something new, seeing the number 3 is the universe saying, speak. It's time. And 25? That's a sacred turning point. A quiet nudge toward change you've sensed but haven't quite claimed. It's not a leap, it's a shift. A whispered invitation to step onto a new path with intention. Symbols, too, hold power. The image of the sun, your ruling force, isn't just decoration. It's a spiritual activator. Wearing a sun pendant, meditating with a visual of the rising sun for 5 consecutive mornings, or simply gazing at natural sunlight each day allows you to absorb and reflect clarity, power, and warmth. It regrounds you in your purpose and reawakens your joy. The same can be said of citrine or golden quartz crystals that carry the codes of vitality and prosperity. This week is not about buying more things. It's about surrounding yourself with reminders. Surrounding yourself with resonance. Every color, number, and symbol you bring into your space is a declaration. I know who I am becoming. I'm not waiting for the energy, I am the energy. I live it. I walk with it. I reflect it. That, Leo, is how you don't just wait for miracles, you become the space where miracles land. So here we are, standing at the edge of something greater, not just a message, not just a video, but a turning point. Leo, throughout this journey, you've been invited to see beyond what's visible and to feel deeper into what's possible. You've learned that sometimes the door to wealth isn't grand or obvious, it may look like a quiet opportunity hidden in the everyday. Sometimes, the person who changes everything is already within reach, and all it takes is your openness to meet them halfway. And more profoundly, the most powerful shift doesn't happen around you, it happens within you. When your mindset aligns with your worth, your world can't help but rearrange itself to match that truth. This wasn't a series of predictions. It was a sacred reminder. The universe is always moving, always speaking, and right now it's speaking directly to you. The question is, will you respond? Will you pause long enough to listen to the nudge in your chest? Will you follow the small signs that don't make sense yet but feel undeniably right? Will you believe that you're not just meant to survive this season, you're meant to rise through it? I want you to really think about this. What if the opportunity you've been waiting for has already been presented, but your eyes weren't fully open? What if the person who could help change everything is someone you've overlooked or someone who's about to reappear? And what if all the doors you thought were closed were never locked, just waiting for the sound of your confident footsteps? This is not the time to doubt. This is the time to act with gentle courage. To speak differently to yourself. To expect more from life because you are finally ready to receive it. Maybe, for a long time, you've been asking, when is it my turn? Leo, this is your answer. This is your turn. But only if you claim it. So ask yourself now, what is the one belief I need to release to allow abundance in? What is one small action I can take today to say yes to my purpose? What does my version of the millionaire life look like, not just in money, but in freedom, peace, and impact? I encourage you to write your answer in the comments below. Your voice matters. Your intention echoes in more ways than you know. Let this be the moment you tell the universe, I am ready. Say it with certainty, I'm ready to unlock my millionaire destiny. Let others feel your energy. Let your words become an anchor for your transformation. And if this video spoke to your soul, if it arrived right when you needed it most, don't keep it to yourself. Like it. Subscribe to Eternal Mindfulness. Share it with someone who's searching for direction. Because light is meant to be shared, and sometimes, all it takes is one spark to illuminate someone else's path. You don't need to wait for a miracle outside of you. You are the miracle the universe is using to bring change into the world. You are the portal through which abundance enters. And it all starts with a decision, a quiet, powerful yes whispered to your own soul. Thank you for allowing me to walk beside you today. Your presence is a blessing. And your future? It's closer than you think.